Day 22 then of the 64 Million Artists January challenge, and today it's called Dress Up Day. Interesting one for all sorts of reasons, and what I thought I'd do is do a little bit of research on the internet. So I found some pictures to give a sense of the final drawing that I'm going to do today. So let's have a look at those. So one of the first pictures and obvious pictures that I found is a picture of a witch. This would be really easy to do in the style that I like to use, which is ink and pastel. So that's one choice that I found. These images are all found on the Pixels website. Those images can be used for free. This is another charming little image. Lots of black in this one, sort of black lines around the cuffs, around the top of the jacket, around the helmet. So this spaceman picture would work quite well in the technique of pastel and ink. And then finally I found this, which is probably a little bit slightly topical, with Willy Wonka, the mad hairstyle and the look. And I think this is probably the piece I'm going to do. I like the hat, I like the hair, and the face I think will come out really well in pastel and ink. So let's have a look at some of the materials we're going to be using today. So I have obviously got my pastels. It's my small set of Unison pastels. These are very cheap, you can buy them on the internet. I quite like them. The limited palette sort of saves you having to find the colours that you want. You can kind of tonally draw your picture rather than worry about the colour, so I like these for that reason. I've got my trusty inky stick. This is a stick I found in the woods. I've sharpened and I've used it for years, and as you can see it's kind of glistening and shiny, and the ink actually flows off it really nicely now. I like using that stick, so I'll be using that ink. And then the paper I'll be using today, I'll be sticking it in my sketchbook. The paper today is Canson's Pastel paper, and I'm going to use a sheet of their dark grey for this image. So we've got our image, we've got a picture of the Mad Hatter at the tea party, got our pastel paper ready, we've got the ink ready. Let's draw the drawing and then we'll add some ink later. Right, so the piece of paper is ready, the ink's ready, and the stick is ready. And I'll put the image somewhere up here so you can kind of see the image as we go. Now you might think this piece of paper is too dark to take the ink, but as you'll see when I start putting the pastel on it, the two colours together work really well. So let's start. I'm going to start with the hat, which is the thing that drew me to the picture. Now I've got to kind of leave myself enough room, so if I look, the face and the hat are about the same size. So if I put the hat there, and I'm going to make that mark first of all, that's the top of the hat. Don't fuss with ink. It's I'm going to pull that line down there. We've got a nice pink ribbon in there, so I can put that in, and we've got the Mad Hatter cards. So I'll put those in the hat there, and then I can put in the back of the hat like so. Now we've got a little bit of ink spilling over there that I probably don't need, but that's fine for the minute. Now we've got the hat in. I'm going to make that a bit more black in there like that. I think bring that up to that card so it stands out. And we've got the ribbon, so the ribbon comes down there and forms a straight line before the rim of the hat comes in. Again, the rim of the hat, I'm going to use the side of the stick to get a nice mark, and I can see that the rim comes up and sort of comes up at the top in line with that mark. So I'm just going to freestyle that in like that. Take the rim across like so, and then put it up the other side. That's a lovely mark there. And I can see I can make the ribbon a little bit further down, and I can start to adjust things. I can make that a little bit darker in there like that, and the pink will be in that bit. So I'm kind of happy with that, almost happy with that shape. I'm just gonna put another bit there just to get the hat shape in. So that's kind of working for me now. And bring that down a bit there. Now the hair, I want to do this with pastel, but I'm gonna kind of start it with the ink because there's a bit of darkness that I can see here. I'm using the stick with not too much ink on it. In fact, I'm going to use some of the ink that's already on the drawing to get this hair in. And there's some really odd bits of hair there. It's looking really... The face comes in there, so I can put that mark in and put some more hair there and maybe bring it out over there. So the ink line at the moment is just showing you where that hair might be. I'll take a little bit more ink now, and I'm gonna just put some of this face in, I think, just because I need the lines. And I do tend to work with straight lines, which I can then sort out with the pastel later. Now if I look, the rim of the hat, there is a line that comes down here and that joins up to the chin there. It probably needs to come over a bit, but again we can sort that out with the ink. We'll put the mouth in now, which is down here, and those wonderfully made up eyes. So we've got the eyebrow that's going to come through there and then down the nose. There's a cheek. I'm going to put the cheek in, and the cheek here that I can see. The nose, put that in. Oops. There we go. As you see, I'm really just looking for shapes at the moment. Now the nose comes down there, and then there's an eyebrow that we can put in there. The eyes are very sort of looking down. I think that eye just belongs there, so I might sneak some of that ink there. And I only really draw the tops of eyes. The bottoms I can sort of pull in. I'm going to pull that eye over a little bit because it's got a nice dark under there, and there's another dark under there. Now we've got some more hair to deal with here, so I'm just going to put in that rim a bit better, and then we've got this hair that I can really start to, I'm looking at some dark through there, and there's one sort of kind of a, I don't know if you call it a bow tie or a bit of flounce, mate. A bit of flounce, but it's kind of a lovely sort of shape that does that around the base of the neck. We can see there's a high collar in there, and the necktie goes through there like so, and it's come over that hair, but we'll kind of figure that bit out when we start putting the ink in. There's a dark shape in there that I want to pull out with the ink. And then there's bits of this coming off here. I think we're kind of getting there now. I'm going to start putting some dark through here, just in places. And I'm making this bit of it up. I'm not really looking at the picture at this point. I'm just putting in some darks where I think they are needed. Sometimes as an artist you do tend to need to do that. So there we go, that's that bit. Now am I going to put the hand in is the question, and I don't know the answer to that right now, so I'm going to follow that suit down to there and across. So we got some shoulder in, and there is another line that comes from a bit of collar that's there down, and I think it does need the hand, so I'm going to move the hand a little bit, use the same shape but put the hand over there. So I've got one finger, there's another finger that comes down and another finger that comes in there like so, and then we've got some cuff that I can just put in with ink. This is so wonderfully nice. I love doing these sort of mark making here. And then there's a white sort of flouncy shirt. I love the word flouncy. And then that I can put in quite simply like that, and then bring the sleeve out and down. That has given me a slight problem here, but what I will do is I will use this cuff here to cover that up so it doesn't look like a mistake. Put some more dark in there and then bring that cuff down through there. And I think that will do. Perhaps not the same expression that's in the picture, but that's fine. There's some more hair in there. Happy with the hair there. I'm looking, I can see some sort of marks of the cloth on the hat. I want to put them in. Bring that around there and extend the hat up. Give him a bigger bit of hat there just to make that work a little bit nicer. And maybe just to set the hat off, outline that just a little bit because there's a definite bit of the hat there. And I'm just kind of now putting in some darks that I can see in places with the end of the stick and the ink that's kind of running out a bit. So I'm going to leave that to dry now, and then we're going to put some pastel back on there. I might find myself a pink piece of pastel because I think I want to bring out that ribbon at the top of the hair, but everything else I will do with my sort of very basic sets of pastels. So when this is dry, we'll come back and finish it off. So the ink is fairly dry now. It's still a little bit tacky, but that's fine. I can work with that. I've brought in some extra colours. I've got two pinks for the sort of part of the hat there, and I've also got some orange I might use in the hair because I think it might benefit from some orange. But apart from that, I've got my basic pastels that I use all the time, like my sort of drawing set, my red set and my blue set. So let's start first of all by putting in this pink bit around the hat. Sure, it's got some sort of name, and you can see I can draw over the ink and it sort of helps, and if I dig the ink in, the pastel in, I get this lovely sharp line that I want down there, and I'm going to pull that across there like that. So I got nice pink. I really have to work these pastels because they're quite they don't give their colour off very well. They're the Jackson's kind of inscribed type of pastel. And now towards the back of the hat where it's dark, I'm going to put in some of this darker pastel, and you'll see this drawing start to come alive now. And I can sculpt back into my black line and bring in my hat like that. Now there's a dark coming through there that I will push in by moving the pastel to the centre and then pushing that line down there. It's probably a bit far forward, but that'll do now because that sort of works. So we've got the hat in. Very little work for this. There's some eyebrows that I want to put in first on the face. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put in some of the white first of all, because I think that will help to make this image come alive. Now I've got the cards in, but they're in the wrong place, but I'm not too fussed by that, so I'm just going to very quickly put them in like so, and I'm gonna put a highlight here and also here. There's a bit of a highlight there, and maybe just down that line there. You can already see this is starting to come alive. You can put the whites in of this collar as well, that's in there. Again, I'm kind of, I guess, redrawing this over the ink, leaving some of the ink, covering some of the ink. There's a bit in there that I want to get in, still the collar there. Sometimes I think adding the white too early spoils it for me, but it's working so far. Quite like that. And maybe we'll put the highlights in on the sleeve. We won't do all the sleeve, just the highlights. Which are sometimes difficult to find, but I'll put some of that just in. The paper's really working to give me what I want. And then there we go. Get that sleeve in and some down there like that. Again, some sleeve there. I don't want to do too much more. The more you fiddle this, the effect seems to die off a little bit. I'm going to put some of the hair in now with this darker pastel first, so that the spaces where I had the dark, there's some dark in there and down there. I want to keep in through there, and kind of do these wispy bits of hair at the side over the ink. And you'll see the ink is really kind of giving me a third tone there, which I like in my drawing. I'm going back over that line. We've got the eyebrows to deal with, which I wasn't going to put in, but I've done that now. So that's worked well. I think we put the blue in now. This is a weird blue, but it's there, so I'm going to do it. Don't like that too much, but there we go. Now I'm not going to go with a white here. I'm going to go with this sort of pale blue white, although it's more a pinky white, which I don't really have. So I'm going to start putting in this face through here. There's a bit there, a bit down the nose. Going to bring that cheek in and bring the cheek in there as well, so it comes through and then up into there, a little bit more into that pastel, into there. There's a bit there. I'm trying to draw the bits of the contours of the face at this point. I'm not trying to, I'm just looking for the shapes that that's and leaving some of the grey showing through where the folds of the skin are, I guess. I'm going to outline that bit down there. So that's that for now. I've got a dark in there, so I will make that dark come through. Some shape into that eye, and that's, I think that will do for now on that. There are all sorts of wonderful colours in here, and it's a bit tempting to go a bit mad. So what I'm going to do first of all is put in a nice dark blue. So let's put that in, and then there's a pink coming through there, but I'm going to get rid of that and through there like that. There we go. Now I can put some lighter blues in. The pattern on this tie, and maybe it's a cravat, I don't know, but it's kind of, there's a nice bit in there that we can follow the contours of the line work around. There's another bit in there, another bit through there, and just push that in there, starting to bring some pattern into there. There's some more orange, which is quite nice because I can put this orange in now around some of these bits, just to get that pattern into the cravat. Sort of working now. And again, I'm gonna, on the edges of that hair, just add some highlights, and maybe a stroke in there like that. That's kind of doing what I want. Pull that down into that a bit, across the top of the eyebrows, and then out this side I'm gonna work some bits and pieces there just to show off this really extravagant hair. There's lots of dark going on in there, but I want to make this the kind of the lighter side. As you can see, I'm not using too many colours on this, I'm not going too mad with it. Getting it a little bit. I'm gonna, because there's kind of a pinky tinge, I'm gonna just stroke in some of this pastel just to give some more shape to the face. Oops. There's a dark bit in there, dark bit through there, just to take the edge of the white off, and you'll see now the face is starting to come alive, which I like. Maybe put a bit of that in there like so, and just go back with some highlights up the nose, on the cheek there. These little things just make a big difference, and I'm going to leave the eyes as they are. There's a bit there, just reinforce that white there. I think we're almost there. I'm going to put some more bits in here as well. Again, these aren't in the picture, these are just things I think need to happen just to bring it, this thing out. And I'm going to put, there's a nice bit of orange there, that's unexpected but working for me. And then there's dark in here, not sure what to do with this dark. I might go back to my original brown colour just to add something into this, to separate it from the black, and then put a little bit of more skin colour in there, because there is some sort of skin colour. through there. And I think we're almost there now. I think this is it. I'm just gonna put some indication of that wacky hair back through there, and it's all dark in there, so I'm gonna just highlight the top a bit. Eyebrows again. Maybe a little bit of the skin colour on the edge just to tie that colour in somewhere. Sometimes it's good to do that. I think we're almost there. I just feel this hat needs something up here, and I'm going to bring some of these blues up there. I think I'm just going to put a little bit of blue there, not too much. Oh, that's beautiful. That's the mark I want, just to add to the nice lights on that hat. Perfect, there we go. And the cards, now we have got that. Can just put these cards in a bit better, I think, if we do that, and then I was noticing there's a little bit of orange there, so because the cards have got some bits on, I'm just going to do that like a playing card would have. And then I think that's it. Put something like that just there, just to take some more colour through, and then get rid of the rest of the pastel. Not happy with that bit in there. I'm going to go back with that darker colour just into that sleeve, just to give it something. And we can put a little bit of that dark in there as well, just to add the colours through the painting. So there you have it, a dress-up day. I used a picture from the internet to create an ink and pastel painting. Tried to explain the colours I was using, how I was using them, where I wanted the lights and darks, and hopefully that created quite a nice little image there. So give it a go, ink and pastel.